Brilliance Audio presents See Her Run by Peggy Townsend, performed by Amy Landon. Aloa Snow sat on the Vallejo Street steps, leaned back on her elbows and lifted her face to the sun. She could feel her stomach, hollow against the heaviness of the manila envelope in her lap. It had been 32 hours since she'd eaten. Her head thrummed with lightness as the day's warmth spread through her. Her hip bones pressed against her jeans like stone butterfly wings. She felt alive, perceptive, in control. Dangerous feelings. 7 o'clock, she promised herself. 7 o'clock, and she would eat. Her unbalancing had begun at 9 a.m. the day before, as one of San Francisco's August drizzles fogged the front window of her house in North Beach. She'd just finished pitching a story about a new stem cell treatment for deafness to a cranky editor at Senior Trend magazine, when her phone rang. She didn't recognize the number, and for a moment let herself imagine it might be an unknown editor with a decent gig. Something better than "Friendly people are happier people," which she'd written last week for a cosmetics company's blog. The truth was, she would take anything. Well, almost anything. She was down to her last $700. "Aloha, Snow?" she had answered, remembering to keep the desperation out of her voice. Desperation was not an attractive quality on anybody, least of all a writer who'd become the journalistic equivalent of a bottom feeder. "It's been a long time," the caller said. The voice was male, with the slightest trace of a Georgia accent, and Aloa's heart stuttered. She had not heard from him in more than 18 years. "Don't hang up, please." Aloa's fingers tightened on her phone. "It's me, Michael. I have to go," Aloa said. "Just hear me out, okay?" The line hissed in the silence that followed, and Aloa pictured the boy Michael had been. Shaggy-haired, a runner's body, haunted dark eyes. Michael had been in her dad's high school biology class when a police officer had summoned the teenager into the hallway one December afternoon. Michael's father, a colonel at a nearby army base, had mowed the lawn, hung the holiday lights, then turned a hunting rifle on his wife, his infant daughter, and finally himself. Aloa's father had gathered up the shell-shocked boy, found a substitute for his class, and brought Michael home, where he'd lived for the next 3 years. "I need to ask you something first," Aloa said. It was the thing that had set off all that had followed in her life, the thing that made loneliness flood in if she wasn't careful. She thought she might never get another chance for an answer. "All right," he said. She took a long breath. "Did you ever feel bad for leaving him?" Another silence, this one longer. Aloa wondered if he'd hung up. "Every day," he said finally. Outside, a dog yipped 3 high-pitched barks. "You know he died 3 months after you left." "I didn't hear until much later. I'm so sorry." "Sorry doesn't change what you did." "I want to make it up to you. I know you're having a hard time." Aloa glanced around the house her grandmother had built, at the narrow shotgun rooms, at the scuffed wood floors, at the front window with its view of the bay.